Obviously, playing Jesus requires a lot of deep thought and consideration, given who he was and what he means to so many people around the world, including myself as a Christian.
The Chosen has always been known for its emotional power, but the Passover scene took things to another level. While cameras were rolling, Jonathan Roumie collapsed, stunning everyone on set. This was not part of the script, yet what followed felt deeply meaningful to those watching.
Do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what you will put on.
The atmosphere changed, emotions rose, and many felt something extraordinary had just taken place. Some called it overwhelming, others called it a miracle. Why did Jonathan Roumie collapse during this sacred scene? What did the cast and crew witness in that moment? Join us as we explore this unforgettable event. Jonathan Roumie's journey in The Chosen. The Chosen, Last Supper is a series created and directed by Dallas Jenkins that delves into important moments in the life of Jesus Christ. It follows events such as Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday and progresses to more intense moments like betrayal and his final meal with his disciples before his crucifixion. The season is emotionally powerful and spiritually deep as it approaches the climax of Jesus' story on the cross. This is why it has been dubbed the Last Supper season. This season of the show brings to life many significant events from the Bible. For example, viewers get to see Jesus getting angry at the temple and flipping tables to show his concern for righteousness and justice. The betrayal by Judas is also shown, marking a crucial moment in the story. The First Communion, a meaningful event for Christians worldwide, is also highlighted. These moments are portrayed with sensitivity and emotional depth, encouraging viewers to think about their significance. As Jesus goes through challenging experiences, the actor playing him, Jonathan Roumie, also feels more pressure emotionally. Roumie has played Jesus for 5 seasons and admits that this role has been the toughest one in his acting career. Portraying a figure as important and sacred as Jesus has been a heavy burden for him. As the story progresses to the most painful moments of Jesus' life, Roumie has been struggling to maintain control and stay connected to the character. Even though Roumie had played the character before, he started to feel confused as the story developed. As the series focused more on Jesus' suffering and sacrifice, the role became more weighty. He struggled to accurately portray these moments and searched for clarity and strength. But during filming, something unexpected happened which boosted his confidence and sense of purpose. During an interview with Charisma magazine, Roumie shared that he had a powerful experience while filming that left him feeling both amazed and empowered. This moment gave him the courage he needed to tackle the challenging work ahead. Alongside this experience, Roumie also started a consistent practice of prayer during filming. Just like Jesus frequently prayed, Roumie started bringing his own concerns, worries, and dreams to God. In a moment of seeking clarity, he felt a deep connection with the divine. Since being cast in the biblical drama, Roumie has chosen to be open about his journey. He has shared his experiences, thoughts, and beliefs. He believes in being open about spirituality and honesty, rather than engaging in public debates or politics. Roumie thinks that faith should be embraced completely and sincerely, without cherry-picking only the comfortable parts. To him, playing the role of Jesus meant being completely transparent and showing deep respect for the faith he was portraying. Roumie firmly believed that being truthful is crucial when portraying such a significant role as Jesus Christ. He shared in an interview with Charisma magazine how his appreciation of Jesus' sacrifice deepened during a trip to the Holy Land. Even though filming The Chosen frequently puts him in places that resemble biblical scenes, being in the actual Holy Land was a distinct and impactful experience for him. On this trip, Roumie saw important places from Jesus' life. He visited where Peter denied Jesus, walked where Jesus went to the Last Supper, and went to the Garden of Gethsemane. Each step made history feel real like never before. This trip had a big impact on him and changed how he saw things. This experience was transformative for Roumie. He had been struggling for years to capture the essence of a man he had never personally known, yet one who is widely regarded as the most significant figure in history. Being in these actual places brought the story to life in a fresh and tangible way. Witnessing history in person left him feeling both amazed and humbled. Author and speaker Jeff Calvin accompanied Roumie on the visit. Calvin showed him the stairs Jesus had walked on, Roumie sat on the old Roman steps that Jesus used during the Passover feast. These weathered stones held significant importance. Roumie stopped there, absorbing all he had experienced and felt. He was touched by the realization that he was in the same spot where Jesus had been. In a moment that felt like it was meant to happen, Roumie felt an urge to take off his shoes and walk without them on the stones. He told Calvin about this feeling without any doubt. Calvin watched quietly as Roumie took off his shoes and walked on the same path that Jesus walked on. This small gesture turned into a strong moment of bonding, thinking deeply and showing respect. Speaking with Charisma magazine, Roumie described how this encounter completely shifted his view on the life, suffering, and challenges faced by Jesus Christ. The experience was so powerful that while filming later, he ended up kneeling down in gratitude. He expressed his appreciation to God for giving him the opportunity to portray a significant role in what he believed was part of a larger divine purpose. Roumie prayed for help and to better understand the character he was playing. His trip to the Holy Land provided unexpected answers to his prayers, giving him a clearer perspective, more strength, and increased confidence. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Roumie felt more ready to act out the events leading up to Passover and Jesus' last days. He firmly believed that God had chosen him for a specific reason to play his role. He thought about how The Chosen has been making a positive impact on people worldwide. The series has had a powerful effect on viewers. Individuals from various backgrounds have resonated with the story and discovered its significance. This knowledge made Roumie have even more faith in the journey. Due to the widespread influence, Roumie felt a strong sense of duty to perform well. He dedicated himself to his role by putting in effort and giving his all. He realized that playing Jesus on screen involved more than just memorizing lines or acting ability. It meant embodying the beliefs and characteristics of Christ as fully as he could. Deep commitment as The Chosen moves toward its most demanding season. Jonathan Roumie clarified that this is not a made-up story, but one based on spiritual beliefs, truth, and historical events. To him, the significance of the story brings a significant amount of responsibility that surpasses typical acting challenges. As the series moves forward, Roumie is facing more challenges. He has talked about how Season 6 will probably be the toughest season yet. This is because of the heavy emotions involved in portraying the crucifixion and the pressure to realistically show Jesus' suffering and sacrifice. The physical demands of these scenes make it even harder, as Roumie has to convincingly show pain, endurance, and surrender. Roumie said that playing the part of Jesus' passion and death is difficult for him. As both an actor and a Christian, the role requires him to tap into feelings of intense suffering while also respecting the significance of those moments. This balance between acting and faith influences how he tackles the role and how diligently he gets ready for each scene. Earlier this year, Roumie talked about the difficulties he faces in a live conversation with actor Chris Pratt. He mentioned feeling pressured as the series delves into new territory not seen before. Season 5 has already featured intense moments and scenes not seen in previous seasons, marking a pivotal moment for the series. Roumie says that Season 5 of the show is centered on Holy Week, a time that is very emotional and has deep spiritual meaning. In Season 6, the focus shifts to the crucifixion, which is a major change in tone and theme. Roumie started getting ready for these scenes even before filming began, knowing that it was important to be physically and mentally prepared. He admitted to feeling pressure while filming the crucifixion scene, but Roumie emphasized that his approach is based on trust and faith. Instead of letting fear or anxiety overpower him, he has decided to fully rely on his beliefs during the filming. He wants to understand a small and controlled sense of what Christ went through, not for the sake of drama, but to make his portrayal more meaningful and sincere. Roumie's goal is more than just acting. He wants to help people connect with the crucifixion story on a deeper level. He hopes his performance will make people think about Jesus and possibly strengthen their faith. He believes that if even one person is inspired to think more about Christ, then all the hard work and sacrifice will be worth it. He considers this work to be the most important of his acting career. According to him, no other role has the same lasting impact. Portraying Jesus in a popular series is seen as both a blessing and a responsibility by him. He believes that this work will have significance even after filming is done. In a different interview with Charisma magazine, Roumie talked about how he has been getting ready for Season 6 by training hard. This training includes staying disciplined and making personal sacrifices to portray Jesus in a genuine and respectful manner. He has mentioned that accurately depicting Jesus on screen takes a lot of careful planning, hard work, and dedication. Once again, Roumie admitted that the process has been challenging for him, but he emphasized that he wouldn't have it any other way. He sees the sacrifices he makes as part of his commitment to the role and his respect for the story being shared. Fans appreciate his sincerity and dedication in giving his all to the role. During the most impactful and emotional moments in The Chosen, Roumie's dedication continues to impress people all over the world. His genuine sincerity and spiritual modesty set the series apart in the world of faith-based media. In a time when this type of content is becoming more popular, The Chosen remains a beacon of hope and inspiration for many fans. As a new season draws near, excitement is mounting. Fans are looking forward to seeing Roumie reprise his role as Jesus, a performance that has already captivated audiences worldwide. His portrayal has received acclaim for its sincerity, complexity, and compassion, attributes that have resonated with viewers on a personal level. One of the biggest surprises about Season 5 is that it is attracting a wider range of people, not just the usual fans. Even figures from mainstream and sometimes controversial media spaces like the hosts of The View are starting to pay attention to the show. This increased interest shows that the series is appealing to a more diverse audience than just those who are religious. During an interview about his role in the latest season, Roumie was questioned about how Jesus expressed anger. He explained that Jesus was reacting to hypocrisy within the temple system, influenced by the Roman Empire and the Pharisees during that time period. Roumie related these instances to Jesus observing religious leaders abusing their power and taking advantage of the most vulnerable individuals. He explained that it was this unfairness that motivated Jesus to take action, not out of hatred or personal grudge. This clarification gave viewers a better understanding of the context and demonstrated the series' goal of handling these moments with compassion and insight. He explained that it's important to live out his beliefs, not just for his role as Jesus, but also for his own development. Roumie thinks playing Jesus goes beyond just memorizing lines or acting out scenes. It includes actively living his faith and keeping a strong connection with God. He thinks that working on his beliefs helps him better portray Jesus authentically. The Chosen: Last Supper is set to be released on March 28th, and many are hopeful that it will make an impact and unite people. Roumie is open to connecting with audiences of all backgrounds, showing that the message of Jesus is universal. His willingness to talk about Jesus on popular TV shows like The View and Jimmy Fallon shows that he is open to sharing his faith with a wide audience. He wants people to know that faith should not be kept to oneself, but should be shared with others in a kind and inclusive way. Although Roumie is not the first actor to play Jesus in a movie, he thinks that The Chosen brings something unique: the weight of portraying Jesus. Jonathan Roumie's life transformed quickly due to a significant role he played. Achieving success through one performance can come with a lot of pressure. This pressure was even more intense for Roumie because he portrayed Jesus, a revered figure. Portraying a holy character brought added responsibility that exceeded typical acting duties. It influenced how people viewed him, interacted with him, and linked him to his on-screen role. Roumie mentioned that people often mix him up with the character he plays. Once, a fan even asked him to heal them, showing how much impact his role had on viewers. In an interview with CBC, Roumie shared a strange experience at an event with Pastor Greg Laurie in Southern California. After the event, security informed him that someone was waiting outside to meet him. Since playing Jesus, Roumie has been receiving a lot of attention, so he thought it would be a typical encounter with a fan. But when he went outside, he saw that the woman waiting with her son was not like his usual visitors. Her son was in a wheelchair. Roumie decided to meet them, and when he took a closer look, he saw that the young man had a severe condition. The son was mostly paralyzed from the neck down. This discovery quickly shifted the mood of the meeting. The mother said that their favorite part of the show was from the first season, when Jesus healed a paralyzed man. She said that scene was very important to them both. The reason they came was to hear Roumie speak. As she talked more, her words became more profound. She mentioned that she had wished that God could heal her son the same way as in the Bible. Roumie stood silently, listening intently. Inside, his mind was overwhelmed with thoughts. He was unsure if he had made her think he could do miracles. He pondered if she thought he was like the character Jesus he played. The silence that followed was uncomfortable and weighed heavily. All he could do was acknowledge that healing like that would be incredible. He was aware he didn't have the power to do such things. The only thing he could offer was prayer. After hearing his words, the woman stared at him silently. She replied softly and briefly. At that instant, Roumie choked up and cried. He could feel her let down, even though she didn't say it outright. He realized he couldn't meet certain expectations. He wasn't Jesus Christ, just an actor portraying him. This experience served as a reminder of the boundaries of his role and the pressure people sometimes put on him. Roumie believes that depicting Jesus in films is extremely challenging because Jesus is seen as the perfect model for humanity. No actor can completely embody Jesus' example. Roumie accepts that he will never be able to fully live up to that standard. He strives to emulate Jesus in his own life, using the role as a guide to improve himself daily. The actor, who is now 50 years old, thought about how surprising the show's success has been. 5 seasons ago, when he first became part of the historical drama, he never expected it to become so popular. The show started as a crowd-funded project, with only 4 episodes filmed. Nobody at that time thought it would become as big as it is today. The primary objective was to depict the story and character of Jesus in a TV series titled The Chosen. Ever since then, the show has been watched by people worldwide. Its audience has expanded to hundreds of millions. Over 200 million episodes have been viewed. As the show became more popular, Roumie wholeheartedly took advantage of the opportunity. He believed in the project's vision, even though he was uncertain about how things would turn out. He had faith in the process and remained dedicated to his role. The actor's increased time with the character made a significant impact on him. As he continued to play the role of Jesus, he started to see changes in his own life. Portraying Jesus made him think about his identity and aspirations. It motivated him to strive to be the best version of himself daily. The experience went beyond just work. It became personal and spiritual for him. Roumie has played the role of Jesus in The Chosen before, and he feels that God has given him many chances to get ready for it. He worked on 3 short films with Dallas Jenkins, who created The Chosen, and even performed in a passion play at his church. Roumie has always had a deep interest in portraying Jesus from an early age. When Roumie was around 11 or 12 years old, he constructed a life-size cross in his backyard and acted out scenes from the Jesus of Nazareth miniseries. He didn't consider this to be strange for a child. It just felt like a natural way for him to bond with Jesus and show his faith. Roumie has discussed how his depiction in the show has impacted others. He told stories of individuals whose lives were impacted by the show. One instance involved a woman whose friend was dealing with anxiety. What do you think about Jonathan Roumie? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Before you go, be sure to click on the video shown on your screen.